This evening, the president is focused on fixing those deficiencies in the anti-narcotic fight. Gruesome triple murder and fiery accident over the weekend leave 4 dead. Surinamese Airlines soon to be established here. The 14th Caribbean Kuberry kicked off at a ceremony in Guyana. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, the Attorney General says there is no disparity between himself and the Finance Minister on the collection of taxes. And internationally, the head of the Democratic National Committee in the U.S. resigns over email leakage scenario.
From Safetv headquarters in South Rambert Gardens, this is Safetv Headline News with Rihanna Ahmed.
Safetv 2 Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel, as well as our website, safetvghana.com. Join us. President Grangers said while Barry Dataram's allegations may be without merit, the COI recommended several items that engaged the government's attention. The head of state highlighted that the deficiencies mentioned in the COI must be addressed. Kingsley Bryan will tell you more in this report.
The Commission of Inquiry report into the Barry Dataram's allegations, according to President Granger, has determined that the allegations were without merit. However, the President relayed that it contained and highlighted several factors that government will be attending to.
The Commission of Inquiry, therefore, pointed to the need for administrative changes to be made in the architecture of Guyana's anti-narcotics program. So I would say that is one of the benefits of the Commission.
The President stated that they have already established NANA, the National Anti-Narcotic Agency, which is expected to work in tandem with the Guyana Police Force, the Guyana Revenue Authority, and CANU. The head of state relayed that the commissioner discovered several weaknesses in the anti-narcotic fight.
There is not sufficient funding, there is not sufficient equipment. As you know, narcotics they're not produced in Guyana, so they come over the borders. So we need to have better equipment to detect, surveillance equipment. We need all-terrain vehicles, we need better trained staff, we need aircraft.
President Granger said there needed to be a fresh look at the anti-narcotic architecture, even though the allegations made by Mr. Dataram were found to be without foundation.
I would say the report is very helpful in telling us about things that need to be done. It's not a witch hunt, and we are not looking to get any scalps.
Earlier in the year, Barry Dataram, a self-confessed drug lord, made several allegations against CANU, which prompted a commission of inquiry to determine whether those allegations bore merit. The COI found that Mr. Dataram's claims were without foundation. Mr. Dataram is presently before the courts, answering drug-related charges. Rihanna, back to you.
Thanks, Kingsley. Gruesome triple murder and a fiery accident leave 4 dead, and families shattered by the terrible loss of lives. Lisa Hamilton has more.
On Friday 22nd, only 4 days ago, the community of Blackbush Polder was rocked with a gruesome triple homicide of 2 men and 1 teenage boy. Dead are 37-year-old Pawan Chandradeo, also known as Suresh, his son, 16-year-old Jaikaran Chandradeo, also known as Kevin, and his 35-year-old brother-in-law, Naresh Ruplal, also known as Mice. The bodies of the 3 men who had reportedly left their home at approximately 15 hours on Wednesday afternoon to go on a fishing trip in the Backlands were found around 9 hours on Friday in the back dam at Mibikuri Blackbush Polder, Quarantine, by a rice farmer and his workmen. 2 of the men suffered bullet wounds to their heads and 1 to his neck. Mourning the death of Jaikaran and Pawan Chandradeo, who is also a rice farmer, are his 3 other children and Pam Chandradeo, his wife of 16 years. His brother-in-law, Ruplal, leaves to mourn his wife, Tejwati Ruplal, who is currently 5 months pregnant, as well as his 11-month-old daughter. Also over the weekend on Sunday 24th, a tragic road accident took the life of Wavel Sapsuk, also known as DJ Bashment, of Lot 196 Samata Point, Grove, East Bank, Demerara. According to reports, 31-year-old Sapsuk and his friend Ali, the driver at the time, were returning from a party in the West Demerara around 3 hours on Sunday when the driver lost control of the vehicle and toppled several times before bursting into flames near the Distribution Services Limited at Diamond. Sapsuk, who was flung from the vehicle, died on the spot, while the driver suffered injuries. Sapsuk leaves to mourn his 4-year-old daughter and mother. For the case of Wavell Sapsuk, also known as DJ Bashment, police report that the breathalyzer test reveals that the driver's alcohol level was 103 micrograms, which is way above the prescribed limit of 35 micrograms. And for the case of the triple homicide, the police in B Division have begun investigations, detaining several persons for interrogation, 3 of whom have been tested for gunpowder residue.
Thanks, Lisa. Scouting helps to build character and promotes respect. This was the message being echoed by those who spoke at the opening of the 14th Caribbean Cougaree, which is being held in Guyana with much pomp and ceremony.
What is wonderful about Scout as a movement is that it builds on a solid base of self-reliance, concern for others, and respect for nature. And I believe that Scouting has thrived around the world and in Guyana for 107 years, over 107 years, because of its lessons speaks to us in a practical and humane way.
That was Camp Chief Zaida Joquin, addressing over 700 Cub Scouts gathered at Durban Park. She acknowledged that Scouting is an ideal platform to create great leaders. Her sentiments were further echoed by President David Grangers, who went back into the history of the Scouting movement.
Guyana, you know, was the first country in the Caribbean and the second country on the continent of South America to introduce Scouting. Scouting started here 107 years ago, in 1909, and Cub Scouts were introduced 90 years ago, in 1926.
The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces believes that the hosting of the Cougaree in Guyana has further glorified the country's Golden Jubilee.
And it's a special year for you, and your presence here graces our Golden Jubilee year.
The Cougaree is an event held every 2 years for young Scouts, particularly between the ages of 8 to 11. It usually goes on for 6 days and 5 nights, during the break from school between July and August. This year, Scouts from 14 Caribbean countries are here.
There they go. Oh, yeah.
Coming up on Headline News after the break, Henry Rodney, local actor-teacher who has given much to Guyana, still needs our help. And New Airline is soon to establish its presence in Guyana.
Everybody knows John Lewis Styles as the Levi's and Dockers store. But did you know we're also an authorized dealer for Nautica, Perry Ellis, US Polo, Natural Issue, Joffrey Bean, and many others. We also carry the Bruno and Drill brands, who are actually the makers of Express shirts, at half the price of Express. So the next time you think of men's clothing, shoes, and accessories, there's only one choice. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
With a distinctive flavor, Umda Palka is made from 100% pure vegetable oil. This Palka is a delight when preparing sweetmeats and other dishes for healthy cooking with a rich buttery taste and aroma. It is used for religious purposes and is a principal fuel for burning. Umda Palka is light, pure, with a real ghee texture.
Greetings, Guyana. This is Lucian at the Messenger, inviting one and all to the Golden Jubilee Emancipation Festival to be held on the 1st of August 2016 at the National Park in Georgetown. Come and see the Messenger live and kicking. God's willing. See you there.
Showtime, 6 p.m. Tickets $1,000. VIP $4,000. Tickets available at Nigel Supermarket and Makita on Albert Street. Compliments of Acta and Banks Beer. Have fun in Banks Country.
It's the sizzling summer sale going down on the 29th of July at Clearance, where prices are hot, hot, hot. Get up to 50% off items store-wide. I'm talking gents, sneakers, jeans, shirts, jerseys, caps, and everything you need for that sizzling summer look. And for the ladies, we have tops, jeans, short pants, flip-flops, dresses, sunshades, and everything the two ladies would need to give you that sexy summer look. Remember, the sizzling summer sale goes down for one day only on the 29th of July, right here at Clearance, always keeping you in style.
Only at Kissoon's can you get the guaranteed offer of up to 50% discount on every item in their blowout factory surplus sale. 50% off for Guyana's 50th anniversary right through the year. Check it out at their spacious factory outlet at Reinfeldt Industrial Park, where parking is no problem. They're in the mood to celebrate at Kissoon's. Once you want it, Kissoon's will make sure you don't leave without it.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
A Surinamese-based airline is establishing a presence here in Guyana. A consultant from the airline is presently here and spoke with Headline News on what the airline offers and its future plans. Kingsley Bryan sat down with him and filed this report.
Fly Always is a new airline that is establishing an office here in Guyana. An office has already been set up and flights are expected to start soon. Consultant with the airline, Mr. Ronald Sato, explained that the airline is on the verge of expanding its services.
We are operating with two Fokker Safetv 80-seater. It's a jet aircraft. And at the moment we are doing only charter flights. But now we have decided to do scheduled flights as from August 9, that will be the first flight, Paramaribo, Georgetown, Barbados, and then again on the same day on the way back, Barbados, Georgetown, Paramaribo.
Sato said in the near future there will be other routes, including Georgetown to Boa Vista and other parts of the Dutch Caribbean. Sato boasted of the aircraft's safety and noted that it is all economy but all comfortable. He said one advantage of traveling with Fly Always was the time comparison with other aircrafts.
They are very enthusiastic, because we are not competitors. Anyway, in that way, that Liat is operating from Ogle Airport, and that is about 1.5 hours. We are operating from Timari Airport, the Chirichagan Airport, and it takes 55 minutes. So you reach your destination earlier. It takes about 35 minutes.
Sato noted that they don't overcharge and set their fares competitively. Fly Always has already established connection with most of the major travel agents in Guyana. Apart from the services, the airline has plans to quickly become a member of corporate Guyana.
Fly Always also hope that we can be a part of this community. We are a commercial airline, but still we have the idea to be a part of the whole community. So any suggestion is welcome. Everybody, all companies who wants to work with us are welcome. We are also open for any partnership to operate on other destinations.
The airline will be launched here in Guyana on August 9 and has its local office set up on John and Crowell Streets. All members of staff are expected to be Guyanese. Rihanna?
Thanks, Kingsley. Popular actor and comedian Henry Rodney is still not well. Earlier last year, after his weakness and inability to work became more overwhelming, the actor turned to the public. Fans and well-wishers have so far been coming together to raise funds to cover his medical expenses. Rodney's colleague and friend, Lyndon Jumbie Jones, updated us on his condition during a visit to our studios on Friday.
Mr. Henry Rodney is a gentleman, and he was loved by the people. And so when people heard that he was hurting, and people were eager, people were ready, and so we were able to raise funds.
Rodney rose to fame during the 1990s when he played the Franklin character on that very popular local sitcom, Agree to Disagree. A few months ago, doctors told the artist that he might have Parkinson's disease, a nerve-related illness. This hasn't been confirmed, but Rodney continues to experience symptoms of the disease, which include muscle rigidity, tremors, and changes in speech and gait. After diagnosis, treatments can help relieve symptoms, but there's no cure.
And he's at a stage right now that he can seek the medical help that he needs, but he hasn't found out yet as to what is his problem. He's presently making an arrangement to go overseas, and they'll diagnose whatever his problem is, and we'll take it from there.
After diagnosis, Rodney is likely to need treatment of some form, and according to Jones, his colleagues, friends, fans, and good-spirited citizens across the country and abroad would be there to help.
If there's an operation, if there's medical expenses that is required, we'll be there toe-to-toe, foot-to-foot, and ensuring that our friend and colleague who has been an icon in Guyana, we must show some respect for these people, right? I said Henry, but there are other cases like our boxer, our national boxer, Mr. Atwell.
Rodney also appeared on the big screen alongside Bollywood star Kumar Gaurav in the movie Guyana 1838, a love story based on the history of Guyana. Persons who may wish to assist Rodney can contact Ms. Desiree Edgell on telephone number 225-5112 or mobile number 624-8030. President David Granger is very pleased with the telecommunications bill that was recently passed in the National Assembly. Andrew Weeks reports that Mr. Granger has one disappointment about the bill, and that is that it has taken too long to come into effect.
While acknowledging that the telecommunications bill was tabled during the previous administration, President Grangers said that the public telecommunication and information technology were all central to national development.
The only thing I can say about the bill is that it took too long to come. That it ought to have come much earlier. But if Guyana is to move forward, if Guyana is to catch up with the rest of the Caribbean, the rest of the world, if Guyana is to move forward, we need to have a more liberal landscape for communications. We need to ensure that all parts of the country can communicate easily.
Mr. Granger, while speaking on his recent public interest show, said that there are over half of phone users in Guyana, and his government will not deprive a huge part of the population of the ability to communicate freely.
As I said over and over again, telecommunications is a right. It's an entitlement. People are entitled to go on the information superhighway. People are entitled to communicate. It's guaranteed in our laws. And it really took too long for us to arrive at this stage. I congratulate the Minister, Cathy Hughes. I congratulate both sides of the House, because I must admit that work was initiated under the 10th Parliament, under the PPP administration. And I'm very glad that the National Assembly arrived at this position in which the public of Guyana could be encouraged to enter the information age with the rest of the Caribbean.
As for his vision for the sector over the next 5 years, President Granger said,
well, we need to catch up with the rest of the world. First of all, is to ensure that there is interconnectivity throughout the country. I would like to be able to go to Aruca. I'd like to go to Achirib down in the south, to Oriala. I would like to see that every single public building, the hospital, the police station, the schools, universities, the defense force would have Wi-Fi, like people to be able to go to the international airport. My vision is that the internet, the information superhighway should be free. And sooner rather than later, every Guyanese must be able to communicate without impediment, without restraint, without delay. So my vision goes way beyond the bill. It goes into, the next generation, that we must have completely free telecommunication.
Rihanna, now that the telecommunications sector is opening up to local, regional, and foreign investors, companies like Sprint Corporation, T-Mobile, B-Mobile, Verizon Wireless, among others, may be thinking of heading to these shores. As for the 4G service that were recently launched by both
moment in history pass you by. Kissoons want every Guyanese home to showcase a new piece of furniture to remember this glorious event of our Jubilee celebration. Kissoons have gone crazy. Every item is on sale right through this year in the Big Broad Factory Surplus Sale, up to 50% off for the 50th birthday at Kissoons.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
He says there is no disparity between him and Finance Minister Colm Imbert when it comes to the collection of taxes in Trinidad and Tobago. He says they were discussing two different topics. CNews reports.
The conversation that I was having with the event at the Chamber of Commerce was put specifically in the context of uncollected or assessed amounts and estimated amounts over many years. So that's an entirely different thing from the Minister of Finance's question.
The United States has resigned as a row over leaked emails threatens the party unity ahead of the convention to nominate a presidential candidate. Debbie Wasserman Schultz's decision to step down follows a leak which suggests party insiders tried to thwart the campaign of Hillary Clinton's rival, Bernie Sanders. BBC has our story.
In the city of brotherly love, tight purity before thousands descend on Philadelphia for the Democratic Convention. An opportunity to rally party voters behind the nominee before the hook of convincing the undecided in the swing states. The Democratic Party and the Clinton campaign are promising a star-studded affair, a celebration of unity and support for Hillary Clinton.
What you're going to see this week in Philadelphia is in sharp contrast to what Americans saw last week in Cleveland with the Republican Party. They're really a party in a state of chaos and disarray. You had prominent Republicans who didn't want to be there to stand with Donald Trump, and you had speakers actually not even endorse him from the stage. What we're going to see here in Philadelphia is a very unified, energized Democratic Party with our prominent leaders and everyday Americans from across the country coming forward to enthusiastically endorse Hillary Clinton and her vision for this country.
But the unity is not perfect. Here too there's been scandal. Leaked emails indicate the Democratic National Committee always favored Mrs. Clinton. The DNC